and free. $100 off, free shipping and handling. Stay cool. Turn the AC down. 5 flex on everything. I'm Guy. This is Now That's Clever. It's back. If only for a couple more weeks with me, but that's okay, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be Now That's Clever with Ty, which is fantastic, because Ty is fantastic. He's going to be up in Pennsylvania. This is my very good friend, Aaron Berger. You all know Aaron. He is all things electronic expert extraordinaire. He's our HP guy. He's been that for how many years?
Gosh, been at HSN almost 20, HP a little over 15, I think.
It's crazy.
It's wild.
If anybody knows a good deal on a computer, especially from HP, it's this guy right here. And I will tell you, he has been hitting it out of the park. The last 2 or 3 shows you and I have had, we have had easily the best computers that we carry. The last time you and I did one, it was 17-inch.
Yep.
Screamed.
Nice computer.
Like triple the plan.
Absolutely.
If I was going to buy one, I would buy this one, only because I like the size better than the 17. 17's a little bit larger. This is the most popular size at 15.6. It hits on every bell and whistle that the big one did.
It does.
All right? The price is ridiculous, all right? We are $200 off the regular price, and you are getting a slam dunk from HP. #1 brand, all right? We've got a great amount of RAM. There's 4 gigs of RAM in this guy as well. You got the AMD processor, 128 gig solid state drive. You've got Office 365. It goes on and on and on and on. And Aaron, we're going to highlight it. I'm pretty sure this one has a backlit keyboard.
It's got the fingerprint reader, but it's the final airing we have scheduled on this computer.
Fingerprint reader.
Yes, sir.
Windows 11?
Windows in S mode, not
no
just
viruses.
Windows 11 in S mode.
If you are in the market for a computer, especially I'm talking to seniors out there, you don't want to spend $1,000, right? You're like, you don't want to spend $1,000. I use it to hang out. I want to go online. I want to have fun. I want to do this. I want to book hotels. This is the one for you. But even if you are a business person, you will love or a college kid, you will love the fact that you cannot get an antivirus, or you can't get viruses with this because it's in the mode, S mode in Windows 11. We are also giving you Microsoft Office. I mean, it's the bottomless tank.
I wanted to challenge you. So can you think, because you're like, oh, let me be careful on this. Aaron, does it have fingerprint reader? Yes. Aaron, does it have backlit keyboard? Yes. Aaron, does it have a mouse? Yes.
Can you get a mouse?
Aaron, does it have a high definition webcam with the safety shutter built in? Yes. Aaron, does it have, and I'll tell you, this is a big thing. Microsoft 365. I have a Today Special coming up here very soon. We're going to, it doesn't have Microsoft 365 built in. We're going to sell it additionally so you can buy it. We're going to do it at a heck of a deal. I think it's going to be around $49. The everyday price for Microsoft 365, which we're including on this computer, we've paid for a full year subscription. We've preloaded it into the computer. It is $100. If you go to Microsoft's website right now, you spend $100 to buy this. Or if you paid for it monthly, you would actually spend $120. It's $10 a month. We're including it for $0 extra. And like you might have heard me say to Guy, because I wanted to make sure everybody knew, I've got my schedule for the next couple of weeks. This computer, this is the final scheduled airing that I have right now.
We started today with 500.
Okay.
There are 400 left.
Well, that's why we don't have another
So these are gonna sell out. They're actually $397. These are gonna sell out in this airing with free shipping. And by the way, I know for a lot of you, you're like, oh, I wish I had the $400. Don't worry. If you use your credit card, everything is on 5 flex. All right? So it's what? 5 times 75? $80. But if you have an HSN credit card, or you get one today, your monthly payment, because we're gonna divide it up into 12, well, it's like a pie. You get the whole pie, but we're only gonna charge you a slice at a time, and each slice is how much per month? $33.33. So, great way to try it out, all right? And I will tell you, here's what I will tell you. If this was a regular 15.6 without touch, if it had 2 gigs of RAM, all right, and it didn't have Office, $399 would be a good price.
Hell of a deal.
It
really
would be a great
deal.
It has all that, and it's $200 off, and it's free shipping. Stop making excuses about your old computer. Oh, it takes forever. It's so slow. The other day I went on this website, now it keeps popping up every time I open up my computer, or I can't even get on my computer anymore. It's frozen. You're never going to deal with that because of the Windows 11 and S mode. And then all the other bells and whistles. Never having to worry about remembering a password, because all you do is use your thumb. Do you know how many passwords I have in this old head? Thousands. And you know what I do what they tell you not to do. I use very similar passwords all the time. You probably do the same thing, which is bad. You should use as many and upgrade your passwords. But what's nice is when you put your thumb on that little button, it recognizes you. And as you know, being a human, nobody has the other same fingerprint as you, not even your kids.
It's one of our unique human, my kindergartner knows
Hey, Aaron,
this.
can we do colors before we get in? Because I know we got a lot to talk about. So that is called Midnight Plum.
Pretty, huh?
I'm pretty sure. Is that
exclusive to HSN?
Is that exclusive?
It is the plum is only found here
dozen
at
left.
HSN. A dozen?
Dozen left.
Okay, dozen of this.
We have it in. Hold on. Get my card. Okay. Midnight Blue.
Which is one you have in front of you
right.
as well.
We have Diamond White.
Right there.
And then finally we have
our lilac.
It's called Winter Lavender.
Winter Lavender, excuse me.
Wow, there's 80 of those. Wow, these are gonna go quick. All right, we have about 20 minutes. I'm going to unleash Mr. Berger to go into, hopefully, you know, we could probably spend 3 hours on this, but what I wanted to tell everybody, by the way, the battery, speaking of hours, it's almost a half a day. It's almost 12-hour battery. I have a $1,300 computer. I don't use it much anymore. It's an old school guy. It was a great old MacBook, but I was like, I cannot afford another one. I can't upgrade another $1,500. So I went back to HP. But this is a quarter of that price, and it has almost every feature that has with can't get a virus, backlit keyboard. But the battery, this is my point, the battery on my old computer was 2 hours. As it got older, it was like an hour. I'd have to leave it plugged in all the time when I used it.
11 and a half hours. Here's the good news. When Guy bought that computer, probably 7 or 8 years ago, you had to spend $1,500 to get a computer that was fast. Was it touchscreen or not? I don't remember.
Yes.
Yeah, to get touchscreen, to get a computer that was fast, that was on, you had to spend $1,500.
No, it wasn't touchscreen. Because I bought an iPad a couple years ago. It wasn't touchscreen. You're right. They didn't have touchscreen up because it was literally, if they did, they weren't using it on their laptops yet.
I think touchscreen, you asked me how long I'd been with HP and selling computers about 15 years. It's the single biggest innovation I have witnessed in my career, is that now when you're online, when you're on hsn.com, or you're on your banking website, or you're on Facebook and you want to see a picture more clear, whatever it is you want to do, having a touchscreen computer, particularly because you can pinch and you can zoom. So that means you don't have to put on your reading glasses to see what you would have had to put your reading glasses on to see on a non-touchscreen computer. And you can see here, this is how simple it is to just kind of scroll and just kind of see what's going on. We'll take another look down here. And this is another sort of reason to try this here in our final scheduled airing. Even with, so there's a font, right? You probably couldn't see that text or that font on a normal 15.6-inch computer, certainly without putting on your reading glasses. Well, yeah, you can. You can pinch and you can zoom. This might as well be a 17-inch or a 24-inch or whatever size screen. You can see that it says free exchanges and easy returns. I always point this out because with computers, most places you buy a computer, you have 10 or 15 days to return it, and they charge a 15% restocking fee, which would be $60. HSN doesn't. Free exchanges, easy returns. We want you to love what you buy. If you don't, send it back within 30 days. Need the same item in a different size or color, we'll ship your exchange for free. So I would say pick a color now while we've got every single color. Get it home, try it out. You want to see video? Bigger? Good. You just, even on video, you can just pinch and you can just zoom. So you have that touchscreen, which makes such a difference. The other thing, of course, is the ability to go from one thing to the other and not wait on your computer. This isn't just easier to use because it's touchscreen. Certainly it is. Simpler to use, easier to use because it's touchscreen. It's a faster computer as well, whether you're doing high definition gaming, whether you're, like most of us, whether you're just doing your email and you're doing a little bit of banking and you're doing a little bit of social networking, going on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, keeping up with your grandkids, seeing what they're up to, doing a video call, all those kinds of things where if you have a computer now and you try to go from one thing to the next, and your computer slows down when you do it, I want to point out to you, this computer doesn't. I can go right into my camera. You're looking behind the scenes. That's HSN back behind the scenes right now. It even has a nice little security feature where there's a little slide that you can pull over that camera so you know, oh, during a Teams call or during a Zoom or a Skype or whatever, I'm not accidentally online. It's all here. I know, totally understand. much to Guy's point earlier, it can be intimidating to buy a computer. You can spend $2,000 on a computer. This computer not every day, at the HSN deal price, the great value price would be $600. In the market with this software, this computer, this mouse that we're sending, Microsoft 365, you'd probably be looking at $800 or $900. And I understand you look and go, but there's so many things to choose. How do I know this is the right one? What we did for this, our final scheduled airing on this show, on this computer, we just put together all the #1. So we said, what do most people prefer? The #1 screen size in America, Guy said this at the top, is the 15.6-inch size. So and that's the first thing most people usually have to decide is what screen size do I want. It's the #1 screen size in America, and it's a touchscreen. So even if you were thinking, oh, well, sometimes I need to see something in a larger format, well, that's fine. You can just pinch. You can just zoom. You can see it in as large a format as you'd like. You think, what computer brand do I want? Well, how about the #1 selling computer brand in the entire country? You're getting HP. We're the #1 selling brand, period, at HSN.
10 left.
10 left of it. This will be our last look. I'll show you this Plum. One of the really unique things about it, all of the other keyboards on the lavender, on the white, on the moonlight blue, they all have a silver keyboard. The Plum, which we did exclusively for HSN, because we know, look, some people like to walk in the room and they like to, I have a statement necklace on. I want to be seen. I want to stand out. This is the computer. If you want to stand out a little bit, if you want to show your
jewelry
fashion,
for your information,
think, right? Like this is not a computer that you confuse for a gray computer every day. It's a whole different thing, and there's 10 of them left for the country. We made this. We HP made this exclusively for HSN. I'll give Guy a chance to go through all the colors with you, and then I want to talk about this processor. It's very different than what we normally see. It has some different technology in it, and that's why you saw when I went from having my camera open to having a game open to having hsn.com open. It's instant. There's no waiting. There's it's the architecture. I'll show you that in a second.
It's why you paid over $1,000 for that other computer 5 or 6 years ago, because you wanted to have those features.
Speed.
HP stepped up to the plate and said, we can do that. We're not going to charge you $1,700. Now, listen, if you want to spend $2,000 or $3,000 on a computer, I got them. You go to hsn.com, I got tons of them.
Sure.
And they're loaded for bear. And they're for the the person that's maybe the head of their company, or they're like, I'm going to be doing so much. I need 8 gigs of RAM. I need all that stuff. We got it. This is for everybody. This would be perfect for me, all right? As I'm getting into kind of semi-retirement, it'd be perfect because I could plan vacations. Danny, I want to bring Danny and Lily up to Universal. Go check out the new park that they have up there. We're going to do that. I'm going to do a cross-country, or not cross-country. I'm going to go south to north up to where my brother lives up in Connecticut, bring the dog in my big old truck. We're going to do that. So I'm going to be planning lots of trips. But I want to get into my favorite features. But before I do that, how do I get this home? Well, you can do a bunch of things. Pull out your credit card and pay the whole thing at once. Why? We're not going to charge you for financing. Spread it out. You can spread it out over 5 months at $80 a month, right? 5 times 8 is 40. Yeah, 400. So you spread it out $80 a month. So basically a tank and a half of gas, and you get it home on your credit card. If you use our card, we're going to give you 12 months to pay it off. Same deal. No interest, no finance charge. I don't even like to call it financing because it's really not. Financing, when I think of financing, I'm thinking, okay, how much am I paying on that car? How much am I paying every month on my house? I'm not paying for a house. I'm paying for a house and a half. And you're paying for a car and a third with the financing the way it is now. With us, we don't charge you anything. So that VIP means if you have an HSN credit card, $33.33 a month, you get it home. Drive it, love it. You got 30 days, not 2 weeks like they give you in the Apple store when you buy one of those products. You get 30 days. You're not going to return it. You're going to love it, all right? Easy. Everything is covered. So I was talking about my favorite features. The reason I spent that money, and I'm being redundant because I talk about this in every show, but that's okay. It's what we do. When I bought that Apple product, and we have Apple, don't get me wrong, I'm not poo-pooing it.
Great products.
I love their products. They're great. I have an iPad, I've got an iPhone, so I'm not poo-pooing them. But when it comes to computers, the reason I went there is because they had things that nobody else had. They had their own operating system, and you couldn't get a virus.
We need to talk about that.
That was a big deal. And if you have young people in your house or older people and you're playing around on websites, you don't realize how many bad guys there are out there that can just freeze up your computer and take your information. So having it in Windows 11 modes means you're protected. That's what Apple has too, right? They have their own operating system, so they're protected. So, but again, way up here in cost. The other real reason, and I hate to be so shallow, but in a way I'm not. Aaron and I work under bright lights all day.
All day long.
When I get home, I don't have like a Florida house. I mean, my house looks Florida on the outside, but you go inside, it's New England. Leather furniture, lots of New Englandy style stuff. I love that, lots of brass. I kind of like my house looks like a little ski lodge in Florida. But anyway, I like to keep the lights down lower because I mean, we're under lights all day. You guys have to realize. So what this computer has that was very expensive on the fancy other product I was talking about, has a backlit keyboard. We're gonna lower the lights. I call it street lights for your computer. And there is a button up here, and it's the F4 button right there. I'm gonna wait till the lights go down. I'm gonna turn it on. So when I get home at night, that's what my computer does. Look at that. Turn it so you can see it. Look at that. It lights up at night, and it shines through the numbers. See, the numbers are lit up? That's the shot, right? I activate it with F4, I can lower it, and I can turn it off. But look at this. Is that not comforting? Dude, that is totally comforting to be able to see that, and I can access and I can work my computer without having to worry about it. That and the not having to have antivirus is a really big deal, because what that means is I really don't have to maintain my computer. My computer maintains itself, all right? And remember, you know, you're getting a 15.6. That is the #1 size. Everybody wants it. Listen, my old Apple Pro was 11.7 or 11, I can't even remember, but it's about 11 inches. A little too small to be able to watch movies and all that stuff. But I got it because I was like, listen, it's got all the other features, plus I can take it on a plane, it's lightweight. This weighs less than my Apple MacBook. Yeah. It weighs less.
3.5 pounds, 11.5-hour battery.
And it has a battery that is 5 times longer. And I don't know about you, but just like with your phones, one of the worst things that can happen is you're on a trip, you're on a plane, I got to plug in my computer. Yeah. I have to. Sucks. And all the plugs are gone. Sometimes you get on a decent plane, they have a plug underneath, but still, man, you got wires everywhere. You're not gonna have to worry about that. Almost a full 12 hours on the battery.
Yeah, an all-day long battery life. Another thing, you know, Guy and I can talk up this computer all we want. While we still have all the colors, and I'm confirming, we still have plum, right?
Yeah, plum,
we have a couple plum left. Go to hsn.com, you'll see there are 500 reviews on this computer. It's probably the highest reviewed computer I've ever seen. 500 people went on hsn.com after getting the computer and made it a customer pick. People love it just as much as we do. Why do they love it? It's easier to use because it's a touchscreen. We have exactly 5. Kyle just thought we have 5, so there's 100%, there's no question. Plum will be sold out by the time I step off air in 9 minutes and 34 seconds. So if you like the Plum, particularly if you put it in your cart already on hsn.com, check out, because it's not yours until you actually check out. So, couple of #1s. The HP name, of course, #1 computer brand in America. Guy has mentioned, and this is really important, this is Windows 11 in S mode. It's the latest version and the safest version of Windows Microsoft has ever made. Many of you have Windows 10 on your computer. About 400 million people in the US still have Windows 10 on their computer. In less than 4 months, on October 14th, 2025, so in October, Microsoft is discontinuing support for Windows 10. So if, like 400 million other people, you have Windows 10 operating system on your computer, it's not going to run appropriately anymore. As you update your apps, you'll see they're not going to play well together because the support for Windows 10 is gone. It's not going to be as safe to use because of viruses and updates and all of that. It won't get those updates. So pretty much if you have a Windows 10 computer, you're gonna have to update in the next couple months. While we have a computer with over 500 reviews, that's a customer pick, that's touchscreen, that comes with a full year of 365, I would say get this home. You have 30 days to see how much you love it, see how fast it is, see how much easier to use it is because of the touchscreen. I mentioned speed. I wanna talk about speed here for a minute. This is the processor is a processor we don't have every day. Frankly, it's not one that we're able to bring that often. This is the AMD Athlon processor with Radeon graphics. When we talk about AMD, what we're really talking about is speed, and particularly speed with graphics. So standalone gaming machines like Xbox, like PlayStation, they use AMD processors because they're so good with anything
Aaron,
graphical.
don't they use them on jets, airplanes?
That's a great thing.
I think I got that from you. Yeah, I'm like, if there's ever anything that needs to be done quickly and with efficiency, it's the controls of an airplane.
Boeing. It's one of the major companies.
They use AMD.
Because all of this graphical information has to be processed quickly, right? So for you and I, even if you're not a gamer, you put in a search, video results come up, right? I'll bet you watch movies, you watch YouTube, you watch Netflix, you do. So graphics are so important. AMD, this is why AMD's graphics are faster. It's a technical explanation, but it's really explains a lot, I think. So most computers have two processors. They have what's called a central processor and a graphics processor, okay? The central processor gets the information. Then there's 3 steps, 1, 2, 3 steps to get it to the graphics processor, then it goes on your screen. That's why you have lag. That's why when you watch a movie and sometimes you see the circle, sometimes it waits, or when you put in, you search for something and as the video results come back, they're slow. That's those 3 steps going from the central to the graphics processor in other processors. AMD has what they call an accelerated processing unit. So their central processor and their graphics processor are interlaced. So as soon as the central processor gets the information, it's basically immediately given to the graphics processor. Think of it this way. What if your washing machine, instead of you having to wash your clothes, then dry your clothes, then fold your clothes, then put your clothes away, what if you just put everything into the washing machine and it did the next 3 steps for you? Didn't have to be all those steps. They were just, you put them in there, you pour in the soap, you hit start, next thing you knew, there were clean clothes in your drawers. It's kind of that idea. It takes out all those middle steps, and that's what, you can see it for yourself. I can show you.
It's so quick.
I can go right into...
You know, it reminds me of, like, you brought up washer and dryer. Imagine if your washer was in one part of your house and your dryer was way on the other side of the house. You would never do that. These are on the same board, on the same card.
That's a much better way to say it, actually. That's a really accurate way to say it. And also the card, this is, again, sort of a little nerdy, but I think it's interesting, is the nanometer size has gotten a little bit smaller on the AMD cards, and that's one of the reasons why they can still be this fast, but have a battery life that is really long, 11.5 hours, and only weigh 3.5 pounds. I want to show you guys the biometric fingerprint reader, but do we need to do an update
I'm
first?
going to give you this one.
Okay, I'm switching out.
Because
my computer.
We sold out of Plum. Is that okay? You can use that.
Totally.
So we did sell out of Plum. So I'm just going to kind of move this to the back. We still do have the lavender, and we still have the white, and we still have that moonlight blue or midnight blue or whatever, something in blue. But we only have 5 minutes left. $33.33 on your 8-cent credit card gets this delivered. 30 days to try it out. If you use your credit card, everything is on 5 Flex. It's $80 a month. Pay it off in 5 months, you're done, or you can pay the whole thing at once. It's free shipping. As I said, if I was to buy a computer, I wouldn't have bought the 17-inch. I don't like the larger one. It's just not me.
You like one that's more on the go.
This is the one I would buy because it's paper thin. It weighs 3.5 pounds. You could still put this in a backpack. You can put this in your briefcase. You can put this in your carry-on. And you still can watch movies. You can stream. You can do all that stuff. And you're going to do it from the #1 brand out there. Free shipping and handling if you buy it today. All right, we are down to our final 5 minutes.
Okay, I want to show you guys one really cool accessory, and then we're going to talk about passwords. So this thing is wild. I don't know, whoever invented this should get a Nobel Prize. So this is called the Sling. Doesn't matter what computer brand or size or type you have. This is the Sling. When you get it, it's all by itself. You pull its tape strip off and you put it onto your computer, and it's like an industrial seal, and it seals to your computer, okay? So what this means is now, I'm gonna stand up. It's just easy to carry your computer from place to place. You have an easy way to do it. That's a little thing. Here's another little thing, is that it gives you a nice angle when you're typing. See how it just makes it like stand up there about it's comfortable on your wrist. But this is what is like, holy heck, that's why people love the Sling, because sometimes you need an extra hand. And the Sling has a built-in retractable cord. It's there when you need it. It's not when you don't. We have it in colors. We have it in red. We have it in pink. We have it in blue. We have it in black. And if you haven't got a Dad's Day gift yet, Dad will go crazy. Anybody who uses their computer often, having the Sling attached to it is so much fun. I
told you when I had my last car, the one I lost in the flood, I actually had my work computer and I reached over to put it on the seat next to me. I dropped it and it landed on the console and it poked a hole in the leather. I was lucky enough to find a guy that repaired it for $200, but still, you could kind of see it. I was like, oh my God. So having that Sling would have made it so much easier to just have it there, and then I could reach over and put it with the handle, because most computers don't have that. If you want to get it, it's a steal of a deal. All right, we are down to our final 3 minutes. Again, it has everything. If this man and I, and he knows more about computers than anybody I know, you and Joe Harrison and Billy, you guys know more than, if we were to make a laundry list of everything I would want on a computer, touchscreen. You know what's funny is that I'm not even so big on the touchscreen. There are other things I'm big on, but it's nice to have that because a lot of you seniors and kids, they like to get there and see what they're doing. Touchscreen, incredible processor. Double up on the RAM with 4 gigs of RAM, more than you'll ever need. A solid state drive, which means it runs smoother, it runs cooler. The battery lasts almost 12 hours. We're gonna give you Office 365. It's got fingerprint ID, so you never have to worry about passwords again. You just do it. One time you set it up, put your fingerprint on there, nobody else can access your computer. Windows 11 S mode, you're never gonna have to buy antivirus for this. Backlit keyboard, so when you get home at night, it lights up. It has every feature. I might have missed them. There's so many to discuss. We could spend easily 2 hours on this. But if I was gonna buy a computer today, and I bought an iPad not too long ago, and I'm waiting a little bit longer, because that was expensive. The iPad was double the price.
I was gonna estimate
all
800,
right?
okay.
And the battery isn't as good and all that stuff.
Keyboard.
But if you want a real computer and you don't want to spend a lot of money and you want the #1 brand and you want Office and all the other things I mentioned, this is your guy. Colors, again, we have it in the bright white, titanium white, whatever that's called. Lavender, we still have it in that moonlight blue, which is a beautiful color. The next one to go will be the lavender. I'm gonna let Aaron take us out here. We've got about 2 minutes left. It's time to buy this computer. You're gonna love it.
So one of the things you'll love.
Oh, and a mouse.
Matching mouse comes with all the computers. I think one of the things you'll really love is not having to remember passwords anymore. How do we do that? This is called a biometric fingerprint reader. And we have a video that we're gonna show you right now of me using the biometric fingerprint reader. So when you log into your computer, instead of using a password or a passcode or any of that kind of stuff, you can just take your finger, touch it to that biometric fingerprint reader, it knows who you are, and it opens the computer. Pretty cool on its own, right? So that's the first part. And you're gonna see here, I log out of the computer and then I log back in using my thumb. So the next part is, since the computer has authenticated you, and all you had to remember were your fingers, right? You didn't have to write down a password, remember how many characters, how many numbers, did it have a special, you don't have to remember any of that. The individual, your web browser will remember individual passwords and even create really good safe ones for each website you visit. So each of your websites will have their own password, and all you need to have is your fingers, literally your fingerprint. That innovation, to me, is worth its weight in gold. I don't know how many years I've written down passwords and forgotten passwords and recovered passwords. It's a pain for all of us. You'll never have to think about it again because you've got the built-in biometric fingerprint reader. So from A to Z, from the big things like the touchscreen to the little things like the security shield that's built in on your high-definition webcam, Guy, I think on every level and every checkbox, we have really knocked it out of the park with this one.
You're gonna have that confidence when you get it home that you've got a computer you're gonna have for years, all right? With no issues, no viruses, none of that stuff. It's really, and if, like I said before, whether you are a young person and you want to get a great computer for school, or whether you're an older person and you want something you plan your life around, this is the one that I would recommend. It's 903-264. Aaron, thank you, buddy.
Always a pleasure.
I'm sure we'll get to see each other soon.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I still got a couple weeks left.
We have a couple shows coming up.
All right, fantastic. 903-264 is the item number. All right, I think we're taking a break, right? Kyle?